I'm Mitchell Ellis, and I wanted to speak to you just for a moment about our bulk receiving systems. If you have material that you want to move and the material is bulky and it's lightweight, such as wood shavings, sawdust, it could be paper products, it could be bulk cotton products, anything that's lightweight in bulk, you might want to consider the use of a bulk receiving hopper, because you don't have to use a live bottom trailer. You can use that if you want to, but you can also use the bulk receiving system with the fabric and the mandrill, and you can save a lot of cost on trailers. So we're going to show you the systems now. This unit right here is one that works with a piece of fabric that goes in the trailer, like a wood floor trailer. The fabric is folded in different folds depending on what kind of load you're carrying, or whatever would depend on how many folds you have. This unit will work on both 8-foot wide trailers and 102-inch wide trailers. And if you'll notice right here, you can see where the semi backs right up here, and he backs up to it, and the semi compresses against these dock seals to give you a good seal to reduce the amount of spillage. And then what you can do is go around on the back side. There's a set of stairs that goes up to this platform right here, and you can open the door and you can go inside. When the truck comes, the truck will be loaded with potting soil. Bear in mind, you can use this with potting soil, you can use it with sawdust. We got customers buying these things and they're using them to handle bulk sawdust, and they're running it through a hammer mill and they're processed it and they're making pellets with it. But anyway, in this particular case, we're talking about potting soil. So a couple guys get inside of here, they step down this doorway coming inside, and this is a 4-inch mandrill right here. It's got flat bar welded on it so it'll grip. What it does is I just sit here and hold that piece of fabric right here, and somebody holds it over there and it starts to wind up. And what it'll do is it'll just start pulling that fabric out. Bear in mind, the truck's backed up here, so it's completely sealed off. So you can see that it has a high sensor and a low sensor. So the soil never really piles up much higher than that top sensor right there. Bear in mind, you're not trying to get the whole load in here at one time. You're just unloading it incrementally so that you've got enough to feed out continuously on your conveyor belt here. We'll walk around this way. We've got this thing bolted down because a truck will come back sometimes and they'll bump it pretty hard like this. These are foam filled, so it makes a really, really good seal. This particular unit right here has a V-guided conveyor belt on it. What that does is it just reduces the chance that the belt's going to get off center and not track. So it's just something very, very helpful in giving it a long time to maintenance on the issue, okay? So these are the stairs that go up to the top. These are the wires that come out right here for your high and low sensor. So I come on up here to the platform. I got safety rails all the way around, and then the door opens up and I can go inside. Here I am standing inside of the unit. This is brand new. It's never had soil in it. We're going to fire it up and run it tomorrow. But anyway, the truck backs in here. Here's the mandrill right here. Well, anyway, the truck backs up here. The fabric will come in here. I'll just kneel down right here. The other person takes it right here. Just put the fabric on here and just hold it as this starts turning. And as soon as it wraps one time, here I am where the controls is on the machine. Here you can see the gearbox that operates the mandrill. Just a minute. You can operate this thing in a hand mode or an automatic mode right here. It has an emergency shut off. Anyway, here's the soil mandrill. So I can turn this on right here. You can see the soil mandrill turning right here. Well, how do you get your fabric back off of it after the truck's done unloaded? You just turn this off and you hit the reverse switch right there, and it'll just unwind, and you can just take your fabric, you can pull it out, you can fold it up, you can reuse it 8, 10, 12, 15 times, however many pulls you can get depending on what grade of fabric you got. Okay, so here we have our other controls. We have our horizontal auger, which is this auger right here, which you can use an auger or you can use a conveyor. This unit from here this way, this is a bolt receiving hopper. Okay, so we got controls here for an overhead conveyor. We got controls here for the auger. We got controls here for the soil conveyor, for the mandrill, and for the vertical auger right here. So if you'll bring the camera right here, you can see that this is a very heavy duty auger. Off down in here, and it'll catch the soil right here, and it'll take it right down through here. Of course, we got this thing where it comes apart if you ever need to get in here to do any maintenance on it. And then it moves the material through this vertical auger that goes up to an overhead conveyor system. Okay, here you've got a vertical auger that takes the pot and media right up, comes down this chute right here, falls onto an overhead conveyor. The overhead conveyor goes this way, and it feeds an old hopper that he right here for a tray filling line. And all it has in here is just a sensor on the high side, so when you get enough media in it, it'll shut off. So everything's automatic. That sensor controls all of this. So your truck backs up, you wrap your fabric around your mandrill, and everything's automatic from there. You're not having to fool with all these bulk bags and all these hooks like they used to have in the ceiling for lifting in bulk bags and all that. Saves a tremendous amount of labor. At this particular location, they do 1 billion little plants a year. So there's a lot of soil be running through this system. They'll be using about a truckload of soil here a day to be able to do that with. So anyway, you can look up here and you can see the flap that's on top of the auger, and that's heavy. It lays down on there. If you need to get in there to do any cleaning, or if you got anything in there that wasn't supposed to be in there and you needed to just raise that up, and you can look in it. So it's really a pretty simple system. The way this one's set up, the customer's got this conveyor sticking out here a little bit extra. If he needs to load a bulk bag or something to take another location, he can reverse this conveyor and he can fill it right here. So that's just an option that he has to be able to do this. So if you're interested in a bolt receiving system, give us a call, and bear in mind it don't have to be the fabric. You can get a system like this without the mandrill, and you can use a live bottom trailer and a hydraulic power unit to be able to use it to do the same thing. The only thing of it is a live bottom trailer costs a lot of money. A hydraulic power unit's about $10,000. Live bottom trailers, you can buy them for all kind of different prices, anywhere from $15,000 to $70,000. But nevertheless, you can get a wood floored trailer a whole lot cheaper, convert it over with a tarp on the top so they can fill it for the top. And whereas if you had one live bottom one, you could have 4 or 5 of the other trailers with the wooden floor in it, and you could be able to unload all your soil and be able to save a lot of money. We're going to take you to another location, and we're going to show you a system with a truck backed up to it. As I mentioned earlier, I mentioned another location. Here you can see they got the truck backed up to the bolt receiving hopper, and you can see how they put some bump back here so the tires can bump up against this. And then as you can see right here, how they open the doors. They wait till they get about 5 foot from the bolt receiving hopper, and they open the doors. Well, when they open the doors, what keeps all that soil from spilling out? That fabric comes around and it comes up the back, and about 6 foot high, they got 2 brackets on each side with a 2x4 across, and they staple that fabric to it. So all they got to do is when the truck backs up 5 foot away from the bolt receiving hopper, reach up there and grab that fabric and pull it loose. The soil has usually compacted some just from transportation getting here, so it pretty much stays in place. And then just the truck eases back, take the fabric, put it on the mandrill, turn the mandrill on, let it start wrapping, get out of the way, flip it from hand to auto. Everything's automatic from there on out. Let's go around here. As you can see right here, the truck is backed up. See the same thing, a little bit different control work because this is a different system, not trying to do exactly the same thing over there. The other one had 2 augers involved going straight up. Well, this one just comes out of the bolt receiving hopper. Here's your soil, falls into this conveyor right here, and goes up this conveyor right here 30 feet. Customer wanted it high right here so that forklifts with their mass could travel under here without hitting the conveyor. Got a box up there with a tube on it filling this old hopper right here. Again, it just has a sensor in it, so when it gets low it calls for it, and there's your material. Previously, what the customer was doing, they bring a huge pallet in here and it had 4 bulk bags on it, and they would set the bulk bags on it down here. Then they would roll this device out and they would lower this chain right here. They would lower that down. They would hook the straps of the bulk bag up on it. Then they'd roll it over to that hopper and pull a string and let the soil fall in there. So it's a lot of manual handling. You're saving the cost of the handling. You're saving the cost of putting the material into the bulk bags. So in the long run, you're going to save money by going with a bulk unloading system. So therefore, you have the bulk receiving hopper. People have asked, how do you load a trailer like this with potting soil? I've seen several different ways. One way is soil company had a conveyor that telescoped and went in and loaded a truck. It went from left to right. It raised up and down, so the soil didn't have very far to fall on account of segregating the particles. A simpler thing to do is something like this. They just took a trailer, cut the top out of it, put some roof bows over it, put a tarp over it, and you got a strap system right here that holds it on. Keeps the top on there. So that's an easy way to load a trailer, is just load it from the top. They load it with an overhead conveyor system, so it don't have to reach up in there to load it. So it's kind of inexpensive to do like this. You can buy a trailer and convert it over with a tarp and not have no more than about $7,000 or $8,000 in a used trailer. If you're not going too far, that's a cheap way to go. That's pretty reasonable, because really what you got here is over a 100-yard hopper. I hope you enjoyed this information about the bulk receiving system. Maybe it can help you out in making decisions of how to run your business. If I can be of any assistance, you can give us a call at area code 251-649-6466, or you can email us at info@ellisproducts.com. Thank you.